All right, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back. It is a pleasure. So, first things first, I just played a wicked league. Um, how he, I don't know. He's also a streamer. He's always playing Grixis Death Shadow. Pretty close games, and I squeezed out a win here thanks to surgical extraction in the third game. I'll just go over a quick play here. Can I skip to a certain point? Just a second. Nope, I think that's already too far. So let's see. I skipped, you have to go back if you want to find it. So basically what happened here before the game ended. Um, in his upkeep, he thought scoured himself, like we're turn 3 or 4, I think. He thought scoured himself. I surgical extracted the thought scour because I did have a snapcaster mage in hand anyway, and therefore it's not really card disadvantage, right? I'm just getting information to really hit him with the second surgical. Mm. To my luck, he had three stubborn denials in hand, and then drew like 3 death shadows. And I'm bringing in surgical extraction because the Grixis Death Shadow decks basically only have 4 important cards for us. It's Death Shadow and it's Gormag Angler, right? So whenever they hit one of those two with Thought Scour, or they discarded, like in just this case, I Kolgan's commanded his Jace, and he discarded a card which was Death Shadow, and then I surgicaled with second um, cast flashback here through Jace Death Shadow and hits 2 additional Death Shadows in his hand, which just disrupted him tremendously. And so, yeah, that's why you bring in surgical against as a control deck against Death Shadow, because there's only 8 cards and 2 creatures that you really care about. You can grind them out, like their Snapcaster mages aren't gonna be as good as yours. The only thing that are gonna be good is Death Shadow backed by multiple counter magic spells. Therefore, I think you should always do that. And then I went to his um, YouTube channel or something and watched the replay from his perspective. And they said, or he himself said, that sideboarding surgical extraction against Death Shadow would be wrong. But you can watch that as well, of course. But I'm telling you, you want to be sideboarding surgicals against Death Shadow. Otherwise, your cards aren't as efficient as theirs, and they're just going to outplay you. With surgical, you can really disrupt them in between and also get ahead on mana parity there. So that was game one. That was really hard fought, but pretty good. Then I played against Selphasic, which is the one of the trophy leaders here, and always a tough matchup because he's playing Mardu Pyromancer with plenty lingering souls, etc. And that was also really hard thought. I mean, then I played against Mati, and Mati is Mati Kuizma, which is basically one of the best Dredge players in the world. And he's always been playing Dredge, and he was my only loss on day 2 in Barcelona and cost me the top 8, and he also won there. And of course, as I always say that Dredge is a horrible matchup, especially game 1. I really made it a close game. Game 1 here, we can just jump in real quick and jump to the end. I think we ended up, like I took a couple of risky lines here. You can slow down and go over it again. But basically what we did, oops. So we ended up 3-3 in the end. So I'm taking a risk in the last play that I have here because when he gets to be on the play, I think he had a configurate, yeah, still configurate in the graveyard and back by life from loam. We died to that. And so I play Snapcaster Mage, attack for 5, and then I hope to draw a Fatal Push, not a Fatal Push, a Lightning Bolt, which is our only out. Of course, the percentage of hitting that one is not great, but it was our only out, and we played to the outs, and then we could have won here, which would have been great, of course. But other than that, oops, no, I completely jumped here. What else do we have? Then game 3 against Mati was also insane. I cut him off of green mana, so he couldn't live from the loam back. Also took quite a while here. Also, yeah, I'm playing Fairy Macabre, so you see in between all the time. I'm taking away important cards from him, and he always gets back with Creeping Chills. So he doesn't have any green mana sources anymore, therefore can't play back Life from the Loam and Confragate. Then the only important card here, like I almost had him, but then he flipped Nalkamiba, one of the only outs he still had left, and to get his prize Amograms in play, and then we drew just 2 lands. It was a close one, especially because we only, like during the whole game, we only had Fairy Macabre in here, really. Yeah, only Fairy Macabre and nothing else from our sideboard, actually. So that was a toughie, and then we played against Suicide Zoo, which you have to be careful. If you haven't played it in a while, you won't be expecting Faithful Hour or something. Hour of the Faithful, I'm not sure. Let's have a look here real quick, because here I actually thought I had him in game 2. He's down to 3, and then I bolt him, and his response is Face Shield. So that was kind of a bummer, because it also protects him. You and permanents you control, yeah. So that sucks a little, but I won the last one, and then I also played against Phoenix. So the 2 most popular decks we lost against, despite having insane amounts of graveyard hate, and therefore we're switching back to blue-white control right now. Alright, we're on the draw, which is not perfect with this hand, but I think it's still keep. Alright, Hardened Scales. Oh yeah, there have been a couple more changes to our main deck that I haven't talked about yet. I put in Jace's Prodigy as a 2-off because most of the time I want to have a significant turn 2 play, which is either Jace or Search for Scanta, and the good thing is both are good in the matchups where the other isn't, and therefore, like in this scenario where we basically don't want to have the Jace out here because they could just be playing Walking Ballista and trade up with us through these 2 Hardened Scales. Hangerback Walker is not a big deal as long as they cannot sacrifice it, which I do not expect them to be able to. No, please don't put it to the graveyard. So the thing is, we could of course go with a Gideon here, but I'm inclined to not do that and instead go for Jace. We will not have a logic nut up in that scenario, but we will be able to flip this chase next turn and we'll go after that hangerback walker. But I also do... yeah. Maybe gives us a couple of counters. That is irrelevant at the moment. So I basically don't mind anything except for Walking Ballista. Yep. So Akbon Worker can easily be held in check by our Gideon. Yeah, so this is problematic. Big time. Actually not sure if you can deal 18 damage. Yes, so alright. This might be okay. No, not to the graveyard, please. Then we're gonna go... So this could become problematic. Could he just kill us here? It is possible. He activates this, gets that one, gets to 9, 12, sacks itself, 15, 16. Like with any other card in here, we're probably dead, I think. So we can flip Jace, and I think Gideon is a must-have here. Okay. I think we need to get an emblem. Otherwise, we're just dead. There's a Mox Opal, and that would have killed us, I believe. Yep. Definitely would have killed us. course, if he no, okay, if he drew a walking ballista here, then we would have still died, I guess. So obviously, I would like him to. Okay, this is weird. Yeah. Opponent figures out that his attack's somewhat awkward. This attack's also weird. I'm not sure if opponent really gets what he's doing here. Yeah. Yeah, now he gets it. Yeah, I mean, we don't actually need to do anything here, but this way he cannot kill both the Gideon and kill us. Or could he? No, he actually can, right? 11. Yeah. If it, shit, I think it, no, shouldn't. 16. All right. Yeah, that's cool. That is all right. Probably still want to activate the Jace here, so we can get to 7 cards in our graveyard. Nope, that card is actually not too bad. Any other day I would be in. So the reason I'm blocking here is because next turn we're gonna get the Gideon, which I would like to have indeed. Yeah, we can handle that thing. So we are going to draw planes. I'm actually inclined. Walking Ballista can kill Steelers, right? Because of these. Can definitely kill us. But the Inkmoth Nexus is quite irrelevant. Therefore, I think I want to keep my land count up here. Just in case Walking Ballista comes around. And if nothing happens, then we still have this. Okay. Cool. But this is quite alright. So we have win conditions on the table, all the card advantage that we need. Throne of Geth could actually be quite problematic, but I'm gonna let it slip here because there's just nothing to sacrifice yet, and as long as we can protect, I think we are alright. Swings of Revelation is our pick. Yep. Do not care at all. I'm not sure if our opponent's already trying to time us out here, just going the long run, or actually not yet. Okay, that's interesting. So he's definitely preparing for a Walking Ballista here. Pretty certain. Therefore, we're gonna wait one more turn. There we go. Counter draw. Yep. Good. So in this scenario, I do not actually want to have Swings of Revelations down the road because they're a little too slow and we probably need to do stuff in between. Of course, Stony Silence and Timely Reinforcements can help us as well. Things that I consider too slow, also this one, and Absorb probably as well. Jace, I'm on the fence about Jace, but we need to get rid of cards anyway, so Jace goes on that. Maybe just 2 Timely Reinforcements should be alright. Yep. So one more thing in regards to opt versus serum visions. So I've always been a big proponent of playing serum visions over opt whenever. Oh, that's our exile zone, all right. Whenever you can afford it. Opponent's a little land stuck here. The problem is that, okay. Animation module is actually pretty annoying. But I like multiples. Sure. Certainly not optimal for us. I'm just gonna hope that we draw some sort of So we do have a cryptic command, which might already be enough. But we would also like to get rid of a couple of cards. We have 4 Path to Exiles right now, which is super annoying. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go with Timely's first. This way we pressure Nissa a little bit. I'm inclined to discard a Path to Exile here over land. Sure. It's gonna be interesting if he wants to have a card out of this, because he's a little stuck on lands, or if he'd rather go, alright. That's pretty insane. Pretty insane. So obviously we do have our colonnades here, therefore we don't necessarily need to do anything else. It's always a little tricky to hit the right colonnade here. I hope that I did though. Because these two things ain't flying. And I think except for Nissa, we should be able to handle anything quite neatly. Alright, I actually don't mind this. Because this is overextending a little bit. Not in terms of cards, but in terms of Oh. Just raw power. All right. So I'm just looking for two things here. Stony Silence on the one hand, and the other card's Detention Sphere. So that should be 5 hits out of our 40 cards. And I'm a little disappointed that we haven't seen any of them yet. But if you're not playing Faithless Looting, you know, you actually have to work for your sideboard cards, for your cards in general. Well, alright. I think this is done. We can counter for ages, and our opponent's hasn't really anything going on. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna win within 12 minutes, I'm pretty certain. And I'm definitely not gonna let that resolve. Alright. So whoever has seen the GP or Magic Fest during the last weekend also saw 16 Dredge decks on day 2 and 19 Phoenix decks, which combined made like 41%, I think, of the meta. That might be wrong though. But the next best represented deck was Grixis Shadow with 6 copies. So less or almost 1/3 of either of the other two. And yeah, that just stands to show a fact that I, saying for ages already that Faithless Looting just shouldn't be in the format. Also, just doesn't make for good gameplay. Sad. Alright. I think we need to keep this on top and somehow get to five lands rather quickly. Probably gonna keep the D-Sphere just to have an answer in between. So our opponent's playing Temple Garden and no turn 1 play and no turn 2 play. Not sure what's really going on here. So he clearly has some sort of counter magic. But this is banned control. That's just weird. That is just weird. So Mana Leak isn't good enough. Logic Knot isn't good enough. If he wants to counter this, it has to be a negate. So blue white, uh, other way around, white, blue, blue. Okay, so this is a big win for us, and it's very likely that he has some sort of Jace here, but I would actually not. Or Teferi of himself. Okay. Draw card. So the thing is, I think if we shock the Hollowed Fountain here, then we have 3 additional mana. Yeah, which should get around most stuff. Lol. Lol, 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 lol. That's the sound of unbelief. Okay. So I think nonetheless I'm gonna do something here. He can, if he wants to, can bounce our detention sphere or whatever. Don't really mind. Yeah, he doesn't have, that's what I thought, like, he doesn't have another green basic here. Yes, please to the graveyard, and yes, flip, search. Let's see. Right now I see us more in a defensive role to leverage our search for Scanta to a certain degree. Yes, friend, you should have done that during your turn. Oh, there's the basic forest, which he apparently had in hand. Okay. So let's see. Does he have another cryptic command? And if so, how important is that to us? Because we have Teferi as backup. Okay. Very good. Okay. And no Snapcast Mage. Swings his ref. Yep. But that is fine with me. So our opponent's basically doing what we're usually doing. I guess he's gonna try to leverage Fairy again. That's an interesting game, but slightly problematic for us. I took out all the counter magic, the additional counter magic from our sideboard. So the only things that are really appealing here are these three Ancestral Visions and maybe one Rest in Peace. Although I'm not convinced that that's really something that we want to have. On the upside though, we also don't have too much things to take out. So our opponent's deep in the tank here. And he will have to fight on multiple fronts. Okay, there's not the islands. So since he's playing three colors, I think that he should not have too many. All right. So Cryptic Command would be great as a backup for next turn to get our Detention Sphere down. As well. Then we would also still have Teferi and Detention Sphere, which is also pretty good. I think I'm going to try with Cryptics, because the Celestial Colonnade is not going to do anything here. He will have a counter, but that is fine with me. He does not have a counter. That's interesting. All right. Okay. Opponent giving it up. So we haven't really seen a whole lot. Wall of Omens does straight up close to nothing here. So I think this is what we're gonna go for. Everything else is still pretty fine. Yep. We can keep that. So the thing about Ancestral Visions is that Snapcaster Mage. I don't not understand this thing or why it's still in there. So Okay, 2 more turns. That is actually good. Because then we could threaten. Now we have 3, next time we have 4. Oh, we still have Supreme Verdicts in. That would have been something to take out, of course. He is not even pretending to have more mana than he does, which is also strange. Let's see what he tries to do here. Nothing. Straight up nothing. Well, then I guess we're just gonna go with Jace. Discard 1 Supreme Verdict. Yeah, I'm good with that. Also, we were on the draw, so we're up a couple of cards anyway. So as soon as we draw a Planeswalker, I'm gonna go and find, not find, fight at the end of turn. With Wings of Revelation. Oh my goodness. This deck. Well, I can tell you what it's not losing against, and that's probably Burn. So he still has his things in, obviously. Not things, but 1, 2, 3. That's actually not so good. Yeah, let's go top, but by now I actually want to get rid of that Sphinx of Revelation, I think, or lose/win some sort of counter war. But right now this is just exchanging land drops to a certain degree. We can do that for still a little bit of time. Yeah, our opponent has to have fewer 6, 8. That is exactly enough to have 2 cryptic commands and logic not up. And apparently now it's time for our opponent to do something. Heartbeat of Spring. Interesting card. Interesting to see it here. We have the Tension Sphere, of course, to get rid of it, but right now we can just go. Yeah, like, this is really... I'm not sure. To a certain degree, I want to get rid of our expensive cards. So we're going to counter draw again. This cripples us a little bit in the later game. The thing is, if this resolves, then we could actually go with a Swings Revelation first for like 10. And then go. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Maybe he plays a Jace or a Teferi. Yeah, he does. Okay, that turned out actually quite well for us, I think. Because now we can go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 10. Done. Play this. Play this. Then this and this. Yes. Obviously, I should have used the mana first to do something else as well. But now we're here, so here we are. 5 is still fine. Yeah, we're discarding 1 card and I'm fine with that. So in my opinion, we actually took advantage of our opponent's card there. Cryptic Command, counter draw. Come on, no, not another Cryptic. Okay. So our opponent had 3 Cryptics left in his deck there. Two cards in hand, I mean. But again, I think we're gonna profit from this more than others. So I'm just gonna colorless, tuck, 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 tuck. Because this is 12. Way too much actually. So this should be fine. This. Okay. Yes. Yes. Then we're gonna play this for. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Oops. Bottom top. Last one, and go. Yeah, I'm not sure what the deal was here, what our opponent expected to happen. Another heartbeat of spring, interesting. I don't know what his combo is. Like, if he does have a combo, then we're inclined to just stop all of this happening, from happening. If he does not have a combo, then alright. Cool. Just taking a quick break and then I'll be back with round number 3. Alright, welcome back to round number 3 here with Blue Control Mon. Another niche card that is actually quite interesting is, or would be, Ojutai's Command with Wall of Omens and Jace's Prodigy. And we won the die roll, and we do have a decent enough hand for a slow matchup. Hopefully, well, two things should not happen. Our opponent to have turn 1 discard and or playing against something that is super aggressive. But these days, that's a pretty high bar to ask for. Yeah. Grixis Shadow. Probably running into. So the thing is, okay. It's definitely nice to get down our search for a Scansa. Also, ours is pretty good in this matchup, I think, just because we bolster our opponent's life total a little bit more. Alright, so this is not Grixis Death Shadow, this is also not John Death Shadow. Yeah, this is Suicide Zoo, which is way more problematic for us. Because we have to actively look for. So what we're trying to do here is we should have actually played a Hollowed Fountain tapped instead of what I just did. What we're trying to do is get us an extra turn with Cryptic Command, then hopefully survive the turn after that one, where we want to go with the Swings of Revelation, and then we draw into a graveyard. Supreme Verdict. Could also, I mean, this is not really a big attack yet. Could potentially even wait for one more turn, but he probably has access to Teemo Battle Rage and or stuff like Mutagen Growth. Would like to have at least one Path to Exile here, or an Oust. Gonna put both on the top. So if we go Wild Nakadal, he goes Mutagen Growth, 7/7 Teemo Battle Rage, we're dead. But that would be the only combination, right? I mean, if he does have a Teemo Battle Rage, we're dead anyway, but probably need to block here anyway. Okay. No. So. So he has to be a little bit careful in case he still has stuff like Streak Wraith in hand, because our Colonnade, of course, would be lethal then. Alright. What the fuck is this for 4 mana? Coming Man's 9/12. Okay, we're still alive, still hanging in there. So if you had a bold, then we would have already been dead. And therefore, I'm just gonna play as if they did not have a bolt. Okay, that's actually a pretty good draw, I think. So let's see. That's also pretty alright. So four, 1, 2, yep, that's fine. Could of course swings his revelation to get above 3 again. There's probably a way we want to go, and then after that, because I don't actually mind anything else, right? We have a counter spell and a discard spell and a removal spell. So if we go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we go to 4. Yeah, that's the way we want to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Become Immense is wicked, of course. So I don't want to fetch down to 3, therefore so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would still have both up. Wonder what our opponent does have in hand though. Interesting. Wicked, wicked, wicked. We're definitely gonna bring in this one. Sphinx Revelation. I'm not sure if I want to have it. Celestial Purge. There is Death Shadow. There is Monastery Sith Spear. So I guess the targets are enough for us to matter. And I think Rest in Peace as a 2-off is also fine. And therefore, I don't want to be playing Jace here. Tension Sphere is also a little bit on the slow side, but I actually think that the Tension Sphere is better than Absorb. And then Alpha is good, Spell Save is good, this is good. That's all good. So that's gonna get thrown out. So how do we get car advantage here right now? Cryptic Command is not really something Teferi is gonna go. Yep. Alice is a good car here. Time Reinforcement is also pretty neat. And therefore we're gonna keep. So talking about the Moto meta again. It has become even more aggressive. Like there was a short time in between where mid-range decks became quite popular and you played against black green rock a lot. That was like 1.5 weeks, so 10 days. And then now it has become even more aggressive than it has been before, which is quite sick, because it already was pretty aggressive before. So yeah, we're gonna go with Naus here. Got nothing to lose basically. We're making his life a little bit harder with the Death Shadows. Also, this way we get to maybe get a little bit of life from our timely reinforcements, but I only want to do that. Charmagor. Ooh. Such a strong card. So currently a 2-3, not really frightening. Swift Spear. So I'm going to take the damage for 2 reasons. As I said, I actually want to gain the life of our talent reinforcements. Secondly, well, Nakal, alright. So I still think that Charmagor is the most important card right now. I'm gonna wait on the Elst for a little bit. Just in case he plays a Death Shadow. So we need to shock ourselves in order to get back up to 19. And then next turn we have Snapcaster, Oust, and Path in hand. So actually I don't mind deal damage. It's fine. Hooting Mandrills. So this thing has trample, which is a little annoying, I have to admit. But of course we could just oust it, and that's actually quite a good play here, I think. We're not killing any Death Shadows with it, but we're reducing the probability here of that happening. And then we're just gonna attack. Maybe not. Threatening to kill some of the blockers. If they pump them, we're ready with Path to Exile. Well, this is quite annoying, I have to admit. Do we want to trade for a card? No, we just want to buy time. Another wallet call. Alright. So now we could start actively blocking here. He should have like a couple of dead cards in hand. I'm just getting rid of a couple of our land sources because of a potential Tarmogoyf hitting the board again. And so Colonnade's not gonna help us right away, but it's bigger than both of our opponent's creatures, therefore I can see that. Celestial Purge, not doing anything yet. But we're not drawing well here. Like we would need some sort of cryptic command. Oh, what did I just do? What? But what I wanted to see here is having a look at this sideboard. So Tarmogoyf still irrelevant. Okay. Must have something interesting in hand. Maybe another Tingle Bell Rage. Nope. Just trading. Alright, so now, okay, Path of Exile is actually quite alright. I actually think there's nothing that says this go, yeah. So we could have attacked, but still I want to strand his Death Shadows in case he has any. Until we find some sort of solution. Yeah. So it wouldn't have prevented that damage because it's loss of life. Or he pays 1 life. It's not actually damage. And therefore, that would not have been a problem. That is also quite annoying, I have to say. 13. Can you get any lower? So right now, I think I'm inclined to do something again. He's at 13. Won't take him too long to get into Death Shadow range. And therefore, like we still have Celestial Purge. Bring it on, Brett. That sucks. Okay. Our opponent got pretty lucky there with that Inquisition, otherwise there would be nothing to talk about here. So this doesn't appear like he has a confident attack though. is good because, yeah, we're still needing a little bit of help. So we're going to try to block the Monastery Sphere here. Has a bolt. Hooting mongrels or something. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah. So now we need a Supreme Verdict, but a Cryptic Command would also be fine. But we're not at all lucky here. What's going on? So many lands. Okay. So I haven't seen any removals actually. Therefore, Jace back in the house. How important is Rest in Peace? Well, actually, no, it's actually pretty important. And with Rest in Peace, Jace still doesn't make any sense. So we're doing it, I guess, this way. It's not a perfect hand by any means, but maybe we can stay alive long enough to draw something impactful. Also, we can come from behind pretty good. That already hurts big time. Opponent's playing a lot of disruption. Yeah, it's the typical Suicide Zoo list. Pretty tough for us to deal with. But that land drop was actually quite good. If his best play is like Hooting Mandrills or Tarmogoyf. Could of course also be 2 Death Shadows, that would be horrendous for us. Of course. So, still need to play it. I don't think it's very likely that it's gonna survive, but we're just bridging the gap here to find something. Snapcaster Mage would also be fine, of course. Okay, so that's not lethal yet, or lethal to the Gideon, at least. And I haven't seen up until now. Well, he could have a Street Wraith, of course. Okay, Gideon's still alive. There's Tarmogoyf, which is alright. Interestingly, he does himself a little more damage, and we string like I mean we've already come on, the only one Ancestral Vision in our deck. Oh, this is insane. This is insane. We're not very lucky here. So I guess the best thing that we can do is tick up on a Death Shadow. He'll be careful to attack with 2 into our Gideon, because we could have a path potentially. Yeah, exactly. So that's fine. But right now, this is definitely not going our way. Could have, of course, also waited for 1 turn to take like 6, 10, 12 damage, but if he has some way of reducing the life total here, then we just straight dead. That's why I'm not a big fan. This one and this one, I believe. This way we take 6, go to 12. If we block next turn, then we have 6, 8, 9. Still be in decently life shape. Alright. So this is the only reason why we still had the Spell Snare in our deck. Okay, let's see. Could of course have Celestial Colonnade be on defense. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we needed to be on offense if we would like to win here. So we attack for 5, kill a Death Shadow, block here or here. This is 6, 7. Death Shadow is gonna grow significantly though. The problem is that if we do it on the other way around and he has some sort of protection spell, we're probably just dead in the water. But maybe we can get a good trade out of it. So we're gonna block here and here, I believe, and kill that one here, and then go yes, another T-Mobile Rage, motherfucker. So that's 7-2, we're dead, right? Yeah, we're dead. Ah, come on. That's just... unbelievable. Unbelievable. Alright, let's see if this match goes any better for us. Honestly, slightly disappointed with the loss there. Like, both games felt very unlucky from our side that we didn't draw any of our big haymakers. No Snapcaster Mages. Only both times like crappy Ancestral Vision in the wrong moments. So Emiria we have one good thing here going for us, and that is that our Gideon is not being hit by Wrath effects, of course, and it can take out Serra Ascendant. And the deck's pretty slow as well. Mana Tithe? No way. Okay. I was gonna say, what the fuck's going on today? So, let me see what you got, mate. From Inspector, cast out. Oh, we need to be a little bit careful there. So right now, gonna smooth out our draws, put him a little bit under pressure. Are there any good 2-drops in his deck? I'm actually not sure. Gonna keep it on top though, because we don't actually have anything to lose here. Let's just counter this. Just want to have 2 threats on board that Gideon cannot take care of. Cast out is actually not that big of a deal. This one's more important. Exactly because of this, because we have the detention sphere. I'm gonna give him an opening here. If he wants to use it, cast out. That is fine with me. That's Serra Ascendant. Yeah. Cool story, bro. Obviously doing this to protect his Miriam. Well, we have a couple of more. Still needs 3 more planes, 2 after that field activation. Okay, so it's only a matter of time till we get are able to get rid of that Miriam, and we still have like 2 turns where we can actually deal with it. So 5. Okay. Sure. Yeah, this is a little bit of a problem. So I don't want to give him the lands because I need him to have to stumble a little bit. This is actually pretty good, despite the fact that he does have the Proclamation of Rebirth in his hands. And Myriad Control is really, really, really annoying. Like, super annoying. Yes. Yes. Just looking for lands here. But still hasn't found any, which is interesting. So what we're gonna do is catch that thing before anything else happens. Then we're gonna draw a card. And we're gonna prevent damage. What? He failed to find? That can't be true. That cannot be correct. Well, I don't mind anyway, because we're just gonna try to ultimate our Teferi here and just exile everything. That's a plains as well, by the way. Maybe just have a lot of those. No. So that must have been a mistake of him. Sure. Path to exile. Bottom. Yeah, why not? Top it. Because of course. Next turn we ultimate our Teferi, then I'm gonna play the wall, and then we're starting to exile things. Actually, You know what? Yeah, that can happen. Don't want to have cast out, kill out fairy here just before we get there. I apparently does not have any 2-drops here. This is really annoying. Bottom top. Still don't see any reason to do anything here. As I said, like, just need to regain our turn to get there. Sure. Oh yeah, fails fine. Basically has to try it. Despite it not being very likely that he's gonna get through here. Okay. Does it in our turn? That's alright. So we're gonna get an emblem. Gonna play this, keep doing this stuff, shipping the turn. So now it's definitely gonna get interesting for our opponent. Yeah. That would have not been the pick, or my pick, because if this Jace lives, that is pretty sick. Okay, so we're done here. Great. So let's start by exiling this. Then I would like to exile again, discarding this. And we're gonna exile this. Then we're gonna put this one on this. And this one is gonna Swings of Revelation for couple. I'm just gonna do 5 because I don't want to die to our own thing here. Like, just in case. So this one, pass turn. Okay. Cool story, bro. Well, thing is, yes. Ciao. So now we really have to be a little bit careful here. He's still got a lot of life to work with. Oh, we still have 14 cards in our deck. That's like typical Sunday morning for Dredge. Ooh, Uncle's Water. That's pretty sick. Yeah. I think he's currently just somewhat trying to time us out, which of course is a little annoying, but can't help it. So this one, put to the top, put to the bottom. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so this is actually a matchup that would be so much faster in paper than it is on Moto. It's just really, really, really stupidly annoying. Sure, Ascendant. Cool. So you're gonna go, and then we're gonna play this, and I guess we're gonna attack. And with this one as well. The thing is, if Teferi is our last card in our deck, then we actually really have a problem. No, actually, we don't. Just timing out is a problem. Certainly not. Okay. So our opponent also does not have any more cards in sand. There's Teferi. So we're also not gonna die to decking. But we're also gonna finish the job here in 2 turns. Oh man, this is so annoying. What a game. No, 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 no. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. This is just horrendous. I'm getting so many triggers here. Just costing us time. Fuck up, bitch. So. Hello. Sadly, we cannot activate another one. I'm just gonna... Fuck. Alright, guys. This is going to be a problem. So we definitely want rest in peace, I believe. Supreme Verdict is something that we probably also want. Logic not. Feels kind of stupid in the face of so much graveyard stuff hate. Also, search by scans is not really a thing here. Jace I still see as positive. And Alice is definitely not something that we want. Could also be bringing in timely reinforcements, but right now I don't deem it necessary. Man, what a fucked up matchup. So if we find ourselves in a losing position, we have to cut the cords really, really, really fast. Otherwise, we're just not going to get there. Yeah. Normally, I would always say, you know, not a big deal, not a big deal. 12 minutes more than enough. But this is not Grixis. Like, we will find ourselves in tough spots. Our opponent's just fucking with us here. I mean, he indeed isn't, but like keeping a one lander, already just relying on the fact that, you know, we can take a hit from Sarah Ascendant. Don't even need to, of course, but could potentially. Of course, does he have in hand though? Two paths, range of Eos, Sarah Ascendant, Thram Inspector. Interesting. That is kind of annoying, but he didn't play land yet this turn. Therefore, that is going to work out quite nicely for him. I'm going to say bottom top here. He does not have anything to get back from the graveyard, but he would just destroy one of our lands and then get back on the field. Another Serra Ascendant. Okay. So time to throw on the machine gun here. It's a little sad that we just cannot get our Sash revisions to really fruition here. I think we're going to take the 3. Do not want to give him more planes. As long as we don't have... Also, this is a pretty decent hit, of course. Alright, this... There. Draw cards. Rest in peace. Alright, so now I don't really mind anymore. Avanti. Okay. Thing is... So what I'm going to try to do here is block this thing first. Hopefully it does not, yeah, he doesn't path it because, I don't know, maybe he's surprised, maybe whatever. Because now we do not have to face a flipped Avanson. Which I'm not sure if it actually can to each creature and each opponent, but apparently it's not. Yeah, I mean, sure. Throb Inspector, the widely beloved. It's weird, right? That as soon as the degeneracy really kicks in. Alright, so Miria is a non-starter now, finally. Jace, of course, also not too great anymore. But it's actually like, Jace is underrated, just being a looter. We're firmly in the driver's seat right now. I mean, So when is this thing coming back? 2. Yeah, so sometimes we really have to this might actually be the wrong sequencing. I mean, I do want to do the play, but in case we were to draw a supreme verdict, this would not have been correct. Yeah, that's correct. That is fine. Right, and he had the path also in hand when we played the Snap Passage, so there is where he went wrong. What is this? Another Abinson? Okay. There's the verdict, so not gonna do anything against the board. Just gonna wait for one turn and then kill everything. He's also empty-handed, and then we have 7 minutes to just come in 10 times without Gideon. Because I don't see us winning in a different manner here. Well, anyhow, oh my goodness, this washing machine in the background. I hope it's not too annoying for you guys. My roommate just put it on super turbo or something. No, this is too annoying. After this league, after this match, I'll stop it. Not sure what he's doing here again. It's just like getting in there. Hello. Just like to play this, please. Yes. Next time, baby. Next time. Bye bye. So I'm just randomly playing cards here right now. It's just doesn't matter anyway. Do not believe that we're gonna lose this to any degree. Except he draws another Elspeth, maybe. Then that could be annoying. Range of ear is also pretty annoying, but we still have a Supreme Verdict left. So this is basically just a couple of redraws. Yes. Gideon for the win again. Oh, this is so annoying. What the fuck? I'm actually not sure if I want to be using Sphinx of Revelation here. Sorcerer's Spyglass, sure. That's actually a pretty good card against us. Gideon. Okay. Okay, we're gonna use it. Oh my goodness, we would have drawn significant amounts of shit. So this attacks Draft, this attacks that dude. And then we're just gonna discard a bunch. This one, that was not what I wanted to discard. Nasty little fucker there. Yeah. I'm good for that extra attack. As long as we're safe and sound after that one. Yep. So, do we put our opponents on to Path to Exile? No. Alright, last round for today. 3 2 no's, 1 1 2. Not perfect, I'd say, but it's fine. Let's see what depends on the last round, of course, but Magic card promo. So what I like about white sideboards in general, that we basically have a lot of flex slots here. Like the chess revision is or didn't do anything for us until now. Okay, so either Phoenix or blue-white as well. Mm. Our hand's not very good against either. All right. Storm? Might actually be Storm. So if we draw another land, I'm not going to play Search for Scanter. If we are to draw another land, not the other way around. If we were to draw another land, I'm not going to play Search. If we are not, then I think... Whoa. So let's see. Do I want to do what I just said I would do? No, I don't. I'm not sure. Like I don't think it's Storm. I think it's just is it Phoenix. Yeah. Definitely is it Phoenix. And that's gonna be mana foes, so we're gonna face at least one or two Phoenixes here. At least. Could be more. Of course it's nice to have a Supreme Verdict, but we would actually need... Oh, interesting. Okay. That was weird. Absorb. No, I don't think that we want to have that into a graveyard. Like, we're gonna counter something, get a little bit of life back, hopefully stop, by countering something, stop Titi from being flipped here. Thought Scour, do not know if I like it. I think I'm just gonna go after it here. Our opponent's not doing a whole lot right now. Nope, cannot put that into our graveyard. So I expect him to have at least one of the dragons in his hand, or the drakes, or whatever. So Cryptic Command is just there to reduce his resources a little bit. I mean, sure. Well, I think what we're going to do here is we're going to counter and return, because you already play lands, and therefore all of that is none of our concern. Gideon is also pretty alright. Sure. Yeah. Nope. So I want to have another white source to be able to go Supreme Verdict and then path the Arclight Phoenix. Of course, this is very much an optimal line. Or we're just gonna kill that one. That's also fine. Okay. So I expect him to play a Drake. Yep. There we go. And that's totally fine because we have the Gideon. No, we don't want to put this to the graveyard. Yes, we would like to flip. And then we're gonna go this up on here. That's right. Fatal Suiting is just a fucked up card. No way around it. Not sure if he's trying to get to 2 bolts here. What his actual aim is to completely go through his deck here. He must be looking for a couple more Phoenixes. I guess he found at least one. Will be my inclination. No, he hasn't found any. So he completely emptied out everything he had there. Just a little bit surprising to me. Of course, could also bounce this. I think draw card is good enough. Lol. I mean, he knew that we did have that in hand, right? Well, pretty sure our opponent's not going to string together another anything actually. So let's have a look. All of this is not really good. Not really good. So I'm pretty certain that we will be able to get rid of this fucker next turn. Unless we're getting bullied here. Which of course also is a reasonable option. The problem is that Phoenix, like Fatal Looting is just a mess up card, but that Phoenix also looks back. Whereas like other similar cards do not look back in time. Cracking Breaks, by the way, almost lethal by itself, but we still also have a Colonnade, so it's fine. I want to have both of these. And this one goes there. Path Exile here. Thanks for playing. We could attack. Yeah, I don't see why not. Want to win this one as well. Also, if anything, I would have gone for Path of Exile and not for Cryptic Commands. Sure. See you in hell, motherfucker. Terramanda. Goodness, so strong. What are we going to do with the Drunken Sailor here? Thank you. So a couple of things. Celestial Purge is actually really good here because it kills the Drake and the Phoenixes, and this one of course also pretty good. Turn Reinforcements could be good as well. So Oust, mediocre at best. I expect him actually to bring in Blood Moon, which will make a lot of things more difficult. So let's reconsider everything here. Gideon of the Trials does not a good job against flash creatures. This one's also not necessarily good. And these are all fine, I guess. So then we want to have all of these. Probably these. And I think we can also live with Swings of Revelation. And then we have a package of removal and card draw. Not so many counter spells, but we don't really need counter spells because our opponents, you know. All right. Path to Exile, rest in peace. I'm good. Of course, opponent could have like a spell snare or something. But we can't really prevent that from happening. So these two fetches are definitely going to go for blue sources. But we don't have actually... No, we don't have double blue left in our deck, I believe. Absorb. Yeah. Now, if he's going to bring in Blood Moon here, probably not going to be beneficial for him. At least not. What's going on? Am I lagging right now? Okay. No, I am. No, I'm not. Okay. So almost certainly our opponent does have a Blood Moon here. But we're gonna go for it nonetheless. Don't really mind, because we have two rest in pieces. There we go. We're bringing three rest in pieces though. Okay, Crackling Drake. Actually, good hit for us. Is that one? Actually, I think I don't like the wording on Crackling Drake. I actually hate it. Interesting. So I guess goodbye. Sure. So you're gonna get in there. Of course, our Snapcaster Mages and Jaces are as well. Okay. Alright, that was it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Ancestral Vision in the sideboard is definitely not a good choice. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with the list. I think the main board crystallizes into somewhere of this area. Wall of Omens could also be a thing in the eyes. You've seen my list that some others adopted with 4 thing in the eyes from the PTQ. But other than that, yeah, as I said, pretty cool. So let me know what you think. Have a good day and a good week, guys.